Hello everyone, this is John Jenkins. I am bringing an interesting video to you today. I want to ask the question, how will how will Black Americans outperform Microsoft? And this is an interesting question because I hear so many black people talking about, oh, the white man this, the white man that, we need to take control, we need to have our own system, our own economy, but that'll never happen unless we provide a viable alternative to what is already being presented to us. Think of Black Wall Street, for example. Black businesses were a monopoly. They had a monopoly on. I think that would be a monopsony. A monopoly is when one company gets all the customers, and a monopsony is when all the companies have one customer. So I believe it would be a monopsony because all the black companies had just one customer, which was the black population. So they had a monopsony, and it was very telling that at the end of segregation, these companies went under because they were not offering the very best. They were offering you can't get no better quality of products. And it's something that I've commented in at least one YouTube video, is that if we're going to finally stand up and do for our own and take over this country, or start our own country, which we already did, which is Liberia. If we're going to be in charge and run our own businesses, then we need to offer black customers, and more importantly, we need to offer the world, so that we can get business from everywhere, not just from our own people. So we need to offer the world a high quality alternative to what they already have. And right now, the best that we have are companies like Microsoft, IBM, Walmart, Best Buy. There's many more I can't think of right now, but we have to think, how do we how do we offer something better? It can't just be as good, it has to be better. And so how do we replace Microsoft Windows? What's going to be the Black American operating system? Do we want to? We see how Microsoft is constantly trying to push their own internet browser to go with their operating system, even though a small company, Mozilla, is just killing them in the web browser situation. I mean, it got to the point where no other browser would work on my computer except for Mozilla Firefox. Literally, I would go to YouTube and it would not show my videos on YouTube. No other browser. I had Opera, I had Google Chrome, I had Internet Explorer, I had My favorite one, the one that I the one that I used above all else was Safari because I was sort of like an Apple snob because I had used Apple in college, Apple computers in college. So I was sort of an Apple snob. So when I saw the Safari browser and it had that gray sort of faux intellectual, faux artistic neutrality, I said this is going to be my favorite browser. So I had it, and I had some of the plugins like the World Map program and the translator program. I had that, so I was really deep into Safari, but it just stopped working for YouTube, and that was it. I couldn't deal with it anymore, and Firefox was the only browser that I had that actually worked for every website that I went to, which is mostly YouTube and Yahoo. Those are the only two websites I go to daily. But blacks have to think about this. So should they say we're just going to let Mozilla do it, and we're just going to focus on the operating system, and blacks should blacks should think, oh, do we want to prioritize DSL, cable internet, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth? Blacks have to figure out the productivity suites. Right now, Microsoft is running Notepad, WordPad, and Microsoft Word, and then you have the offshoots, the generic word processors like PerfectWorks, WordPerfect, which are offered by different companies. And so blacks have to figure out what are we going to do about productivity, about spreadsheets and things of that nature. Do we just want to let Open Office take care of that so we can focus on the actual operating system? And obviously, when blacks come up with their their replacement for Microsoft Windows, it's gonna have to be at least 64-bit, if not 128-bit. Well, actually, we it it could probably stay at 64-bit. 128-bit would be beyond even the hypothetical necessity of computing of needed computing power. It'll be. I mean, if we were trying to reprogram the sun, maybe we would need 128 bits. But yeah, we don't need that. We're not even going to be using the entirety of the 64-bit processors. But blacks have to understand that, and we have to understand that most of the legacy hardware, such as GTX 970, 980, 990, and the VisionTech XSC Radeon, and the SSDs, and the HDDs, and the HDMI uh, monitors. That legacy technology is going to be based on Microsoft Windows. So we need to make something that's compatible with Microsoft Windows. I have not studied Linux and how Linux deals with all this legacy compatibility with Microsoft, but I do know that you can get you can Linux is obviously an operating system, and it definitely works with hardware which is generally associated with Microsoft products. So that's something that has been done before, and we can do it. So the question remains: how will Black people outperform Microsoft? How are we going to put? Uh, uh, it would be nice, but you know, how are we going to make a Black man be the richest man in the world? It might not be necessary to outperform Microsoft, but it's worth asking that question. How do we create a new revolution, a new software revolution that is so powerful that we make a Black man the richest man in the world? Now, the current richest Black man in the world is an African man. I forget his name, but he's a businessman. He's not a software guy. But I think I'll do a video on him as well. But we got to ask ourselves these questions, and it's, I guess, inevitably, whenever we talk about advancement with Black people, we come to the same stumbling block, which is the Black students languishing in public schools, not enough private schools to take care of educating Black students, Black students not selecting science and engineering and technology as their majors. So this would have to change around, because Bill Gates was born into an upper middle class family, very successful parents. He did not invent the computer. The first general use computer was invented during World War II. So about 25 years before he was born, I believe. A good 15 to 25 years before he was born. And so we have to think about these things. So he didn't invent computers. He just gave it that, what you would call a killer app, which couldn't be denied, which just took the whole world by storm. And I remember when we got our Windows, I believe it was our Windows 95 PC, and we were, my siblings and I, we used to play with the the audio recorder program, and we would record our own songs and stuff, and we would be singing together in front of the computer, making up songs. So yeah, so let me know what you think. How are Black people going to outperform Microsoft, make the next software revolution that's going to revolutionize to where people are saying, "Oh, that Microsoft, that's outdated junk. I want the, you know, uh, brother core, brother core. Uh, I want the brother core PC with the uh, OS Africa." so, so let me know how you think Black people are going to outperform Microsoft. What we have to do, and obviously it's going to start with getting more getting better educated Black students, and we might have to talk about leaving the public school system and starting our own private schools. And that's all I have for today. Okay, goodbye.